Hey guys, International Stacker back here again, and we are looking at the massive secret stack of an old man. It's over 589, almost 590 ounces of silver and nearly an ounce of gold. This little puppy here is worth about $25,000 at today's prices. And I'm gonna take you through these coins. I'm gonna show you some of them, and we're gonna hear from the stacker himself.
International Stacker.
All right, so I got him right here. What's your stacker name? Century Stacker?
Grandpa Stacker.
Grandpa Stacker. When did you first start getting interested in coins, gold and silver?
About almost 10 years ago.
Okay, but you told me stories about from your childhood, your dad. Tell me about those.
Wow, I've got some stories. My dad collected all sorts of gold and silver, and my dad was in World War II. And one day he calls me and says, I want you to see something. And he had these black rubber things, they look like squares, and he opened one up and they were filled with gold coins and rings and watches that were used for, I asked him what it was for, and he said they were used to, if anybody got caught behind enemy lines, the pilots, my dad was a pilot in World War II, they would use it for barter, and I'd never seen anything like that.
And it was a gold coin in there, right?
There was a gold coin, there was a gold watch sometimes, there was gold rings, there's multiple gold coins.
So you were exposed to gold and silver at a young age, but you didn't get serious about it until about 10 years ago. What made you decide to get serious about it?
International Stacker.
Stacker. You know, what you're seeing here, I don't know if you heard the number earlier, you've got about 590 ounces of silver, about an ounce of gold, so you're sitting at like $25,000, give or take, at today's spot prices, not with premiums. How does that make you feel? Did you put in $25,000 to get this much?
No, we got most of it, I think it was around $18 or $19 an ounce.
So how are you feeling today, having spent that and what it's worth now? Do you wish you had more? Are you happy where you're at? Are you never happy?
I'm very happy with what we have, and it's one of those things that I don't have to worry about it. It just keeps gaining value.
So you believe in gold and silver being a hedge against inflation, preserving your buying power, right?
Yeah, because the future, you never know about the future. And so it's good to have something that has been stable for centuries.
Do you plan to ever sell, or is it like keep it and then only sell if you need it? The reason I ask that for me, my goal with my stack is that I never have to tap into it and I can just build like family wealth, right? However, I did sell some of it for things I needed along the way. Like, what's your stance on that?
All of the above. I think just whatever the future presents, we have that flexibility either to hold it, sell it, keep it, whatever.
And this is a real interesting piece you have here. I've never seen it till you got it. It's Pamp, guys. And he used to collect PEZ. And it's like a PEZ dispenser with silver bars that are PEZ.
And it says on it, do not eat.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I could see a little kid like trying to eat it. That'd be expensive. Each one of those I think is a gram or a couple grams. What's your favorite piece here?
You just said it, the PEZ.
So the PEZ. And then do you wish you had more gold? Do you wish you bought more gold over the years? Or are you happy with the mix of what's going on here?
Well, I think that when you live and what comes about in that time kind of dictates it. In other words, I go with the flow. You know, if we're thinking about buying some more right now, but at the same hand, we might switch some silver for gold. Who knows?
So bottom line is like, your situation is going to dictate.
Yeah.
I'm sure back in 2018, if you could have just bought all gold, you would have done that.
Absolutely.
But you would have had a couple gold coins, right? So like,
Sure.
The goal here is to stack as much as you can. And you kind of alluded to that with the gold to silver. So right now the gold to silver ratio is 100 ounces of silver equal 1 ounce of gold. That's only happened 2 times in history. So right now is the best time to buy silver because it's extremely undervalued. So what a lot of people don't get is if you buy a bunch of silver now and then say that ratio closes, say it even closes to 50 to 1. So then 50 ounces of silver to 1. Then if you traded those original 100 ounces you got straight to gold, you'll end up with 2 ounces of gold, right? So you end up with almost double than what you would have if you play the ratio. So for me, and I'm not a financial advisor, when the ratio is high, I buy silver. When the ratio is low, I buy gold. And the ratio's been high for a long time, so that's why, I have a lot of silver.
Yeah.
But I do wish I got a bit more gold over the year. And this is interesting. You got like 34 packets here. And I believe I got these at a great deal, and then I gave you a good deal on them maybe a year or two later. These are mint sets from Canada, so you got the silver dollar, silver quarter, silver dime, and silver half. So that's pretty cool stuff. What's your biggest regret with silver and gold stacking?
I don't have any.
You should have said, I didn't start sooner.
Okay.
That's my regret.
That was exactly in my head.
I wish I was in gold and silver when it was like $6 an ounce.
Yeah.
My other favorite is the Star Wars piece right there.
Basker bar.
Yeah.
We had these commissioned by MK Bars. And we actually have another new stacker. You guys have seen a lot of little stackers in my videos, but we have a new stacker here. Put your hand in there, give a thumbs up. What's your stacking name?
US Stacker.
US Stacker in the house. So you're saying you're thinking about buying more, gold or silver. You're still kind of like kicking around the idea.
Yep.
You know, the nice thing about gold is it's a lot of buying power in a small space, you know?
I do know
A couple, so like, what is this, $25,000 worth? Some of that's gold, but like, hypothetically divide that by $3,500 in gold, right?
Right.
And that's how many coins you could replace this with. However, I do think right now, because of the gold to silver ratio, silver is a better buy. But to each his own. There's different situations for everybody. So at the beginning of this video, you alluded to your dad had a massive stack of gold and silver, I believe. So
Yes.
like, what happened? Is that hidden in your floorboards? What happened to that gold and silver?
No, a good friend of mine, we always kidded that one night we were going to come over and we were just going to take the full piece of the floor out from underneath and drop it all out as a joke. We said that, but in reality, it served my mom well. My mom is no longer with us, but after my dad passed, my mom had a desire to move to a very nice retirement home. And so I would take her to the gold shop and she would cash in, and she was able to really fulfill all of her desires in her later age, and including those, what I alluded to, the special black rubber box looking things that were for the
Down
pilots. Yeah, down pilots. And so we took them there, and oh, that could be a regret.
Huh.
We were watching a TV show. I think it was Pawn Stars. And all of a sudden, a guy walks in with the exact thing I'm talking about.
I seen that episode.
Right? And turned it in for, I believe, the one that he had was worth somewhere between $5,000 and $7,500. And I remember we sold them for like $300 each.
Oh yeah, but
years before.
But keep in mind, if you correct for inflation, what was $300 back then really worth?
Right.
But boy, would those be cool to have. So your dad's passion in silver and gold stacking enabled your mom to live out the rest of her life in comfort and not have to worry about it.
Absolutely.
All right, Mrs. IS, you heard it. Mrs. IS is going to be living large. All right, any final advice to people? Maybe people are watching this video and they've never stacked, they're not into it. Any advice for new people on stacking?
It's a good way to put a little money aside as you're going through life, and creating something that's stable, that'll be there when you need it.
Awesome. Well, it's been a great video. You've got a great collection, and I hope the next time I see it, it's stacked to the sky. That's the end of the video, and I guess we'll say,
Catch you on the next one.
woo!
One stacker.